Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
Good, Steve. How are you?
Good. How's the train ride?
Great. Like old school 1960s Red Wings, Blackhawks. Too bad they weren't on it with us.
Just on the power play last night, any reasons you see for why it looked a little stagnant?
It's strictly execution to me. I thought we were sloppy with and slow. Sloppy and slow is the best way to put it. Probably our worst performance in a while in terms of just not being crisp and zipping around and finding the right outlet. Guys held on to it a little too long and then forced to play. They were a little more aggressive up high at times than maybe we expected, but still, I mean, we played teams like that. We just came off of one with Pittsburgh, so we should have been better prepared for it. Like I said, we just, not real clean. And then on the 5-on-3, I thought we hit the right play. They had two. We made the right play in Pittsburgh. They had two forwards on the ice. So we got it low in a hurry and got the backdoor play. They had two D out the other night. So we hit past up top for, we call it a plunger that one time where he was just off net. And then we got away from it. I think it was the right play to get the shot from up top there in the middle of the ice. We just tried to force a few other ones, missed a seam, got a shot block. So again, just stuff that typically we don't do. Didn't recover the puck. They get a couple clears. So you put all that into it and just not real effective.
Yeah, and obviously you're thrilled to have Pasta back, but dropping such a big piece into that that power play when it's going so well, can that change the focus a little bit?
No, I mean, Pasta's going to want his touches. He likes to handle the puck too, and that's the one area when our team probably gets a little off is when it doesn't move as quick. And I just try to remind him, it doesn't matter who scores, there's 5 years out there. You're all going to, if we're effective every night, we have plays for everybody essentially, Steve. So it's not going to matter. I mean, obviously Pasta's shot, Marshy attacks from the elbow. He got Bergie's bumper. The other night we took a point shot, Kretsch, because that's what was there. And there was a tip in front. So again, I think when it's going well, everyone knows they're going to be part of it, help us win. Last night, like I said, I just didn't think the puck moved as well, as quick as it normally does. And I'm not putting that on Pasta. I want him on our power play all day long. So I'm sure that the whole unit will be cleaner and tomorrow night, and we'll go from there.
And the guys who didn't skate today, just maintenance or?
Yeah, no injuries other than bumps and bruises. Marshy, if you saw, went into the end boards there pretty hard. So he played through the game, but he's okay. So we gave him a day. And then Bergie, similar, a few bumps and bruises. And Charlie McAvoy's played a lot of time. So that was just more, we told him, stay off. He played a lot of hockey. Kevin Miller, again, just looking after him. I thought he had a real hard game last night, some hits there. He took some, he gave some, so let him relax. And we'll all go on tomorrow morning because it's an 8:00 game tomorrow night. So, and we asked a couple other guys and they preferred to go on. So that was the thinking behind that.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Fluto.
Bruce, on both of David's goals, he doesn't need that much time to separate from Carlson on the one and off the draw there. What does he do so well to manufacture that kind of separation so quickly?
Well, I think part of it, Fluto, is they run a few different plays, right? So if you get a team in man-to-man, which Washington is, and I'm sure they've gone through a pre-scout, but who knows? Some guys like Carlson are on every facet of the game. So, pre-scouts can add up after a while. So, he only needs a split second because of his agility, and first step to separate. So the one where he goes behind the net, obviously clearly chasing him behind the net, got tangled up. So that allowed him lots of time. But the best part of that was the other, Marshy and Bergie occupied people, right? So it freed up Pasta. And the other with the pop-out slot, we've run that a lot. He'll take his first step like he did on the kind of, we call it the Kessel, actually, the end around. Arizona runs that play. And then he popped back out. And we run that one a lot where it goes from the half wall. Well, you have to win the draw first, but, the D goes into the half wall right into Pasta one timer, and Bergie's kind of scissoring to the net. So, you're going to, I guess you'd call it legal interference. I don't know. You might bump into someone on the way out, especially in those man-to-mans, right? Those kind of small picks that just takes a second for Pasta to get it off. So that's why those plays work, because they run different ones and they execute well, and they get to their spots. They practice those shots. So good for them. I mean, we got 3 goals in this 2-game series with that line, just running 3 different face-off plays. I mean, I've never seen that where you have, that much success with it. You certainly run plays, they don't always work, but all 3 of them work.
We'll go next to Joe Haggerty.
Hey, Butchie, just curious about the goaltending rotation for the next few weeks. I know you got some back-to-backs coming up. Are you inclined to go strictly one on, one off with Rask and Halak like you've been doing most of the time?
For the most part, yes. Tuukka's going to start tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, historically very good in Philly. So he's going to play one of them this weekend. So it might be the Friday. So it wouldn't be your one on, one off, so to speak, but it would be 2 this week for him and 2 for Yarrow, if that makes any sense to you. Like, we're going to try to keep it, in that regard, where we're not overplaying one guy for a week, but he might play 2 in a row and then the other guy will go in. So that's what we're thinking right now, but that could change. Tuukka could be the guy back in at home on Saturday and Yarrow Friday, but Tuukka's going to play 2 of the next 3. And from there, we'll see what the next week brings. Again, with all the games, I think there's another 4-game week. It'll probably be, again, 2 for each of them.
Is some of it based on feel too? Just if one of them really catches fire, you're gonna.
Yeah, there is some of that. I mean, we have confidence in both. I think when you're the age they're at, like, they understand why we're doing it. Younger guy might say, "Hey, I'm hot. Leave me in there. Let me get on a roll." But they know we have a plan going in, and it's big picture. But yes, there could be a time where we just feel if the guy's really feeling it and he's healthy and the schedule allows it, then he might get a few extra starts in a row. But in general, I think in the past we've tried to keep it that way. It might have went the other way when a guy was off a little bit. We gave him a little more time to rest and get his game in order more than when he's hot, because we honestly expect them both to be solid every time. So it's more the opposite. If we feel that there's things that need to be corrected in their game technically, or if Bob needs a few days to work with them, then we might use the other guy, maybe out of rotation, so to speak.
Thanks, Butchie.
Yeah.
We'll go next to Dan Roach.
Afternoon, Bruce.
Hi, Dan.
Just a thought on your years of experience. What can or does a win like last night, the way you did it, do for a hockey team?
Well, the night before we came back from 3-0, we lost in overtime. Never really gave ourselves a chance in overtime, but so there's a good feeling in this team, no matter what, that we can come back. We're never out of it. You have to play a certain way to stay in it, but I think our guys feel that we can score. We can win games like that where we need to outscore the other team, because we've had some breakdowns. But I would think, yes, that it was, in Washington, a team that we've had probably mental hurdles with over the last 4 or 5 years, that we're starting to get over those. I think we match up a little better. Obviously, the Frederick Wilson scrap's been talked about a lot, but I think that helps us, knowing that, if the game goes a certain way, we're fine either way. And I thought we actually outskated them in the third, put pucks behind them and really wore down their D, and, forechecked and got pucks back. And that was the difference. So, usually to do that in another team's building, you got to have some confidence, but also some, a team that can play anyway. So that was the good part. So yes, it might be one of those you look back and say, hey, that did a lot of good for us. But honestly, I do feel we feel good about ourselves. There's very few nights where we're really down and out and feel we can't win. So that's a part of it as well.
We'll take a final question for Bruce from Chris Ryan.
Hey, Bruce. Wanted to ask you about the kind of the psychological side of having a goal scorer like Pasta, and how do you feel that kind of some of the pros and cons that it has on the rest of the lineup to know that there's a guy that can score 2 goals like Pasta did last night?
Well, there's not a lot of cons, other than maybe guys just figure, well, Pasta will get hot and he'll do it. He'll carry us. I would say that's the only thing that could go through a player's head if they're having a tough night. I don't need to push through, the power play or Pasta, and we've got a pretty good group, pretty responsible group. If that feeling sets in, it doesn't last long. I think guys we kind of shake them out of that, and everyone has to do their part. So it's pretty much just pros, knowing that a guy like that, and that's one of the reasons, going back to Dan's questions, why we feel we're not out of games, because we have a guy like that can get hot. So that, and then secondary scoring underneath that. So that's the advantage, and he wants to score. He gets frustrated. Not frustrated is the wrong word. He gets more determined if he doesn't. If he has some looks and he's off net, like that Monday, Saturday. He was a little off net with some of his chances. He knew it, and he bared down yesterday and hit the net, and as a result, got 2. So that's the other advantage with him is he has a mindset as he wants to score goals, he wants to get available, he wants to work hard, he wants to shoot the puck, to get on the score sheet because he knows it helps us win. So, like I said, it's predominantly all good things when you have a guy like him in the lineup.